Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to 168 Hours, your weekly roundup of the top local stories. I'm Abdullah Ahil, your host for the evening. Stay tuned. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz announces that businesses registered under the Authentic Maldives program have been authorized to sell their products through Alibaba.com as part of a wider strategy to strengthen the creative industry and expand access to global markets.
The announcement was made during a consultation with local entrepreneurs where the president addressed ongoing challenges related to foreign currency exchange. He said that under the new arrangement, 400 vendors already listed on Alibaba.com will be able to market their products internationally, provided they remain registered under the Authentic Maldives program. Officials described the initiative as a key step towards opening international market channels for Maldivian manufacturers and reducing logistical barriers associated with cross-border trade. President Muiz also highlighted progress in discussions with PayPal, expressing optimism that the service could become available to Maldivian citizens by January. He said this would significantly ease international transactions for local entrepreneurs. In addition, the president said the Bank of Maldives is preparing to launch a locally developed digital wallet, Swipe, in the first quarter of next year. The bank has described the platform as a major milestone in its efforts to position itself as a leading digital banking institution in the region.
Recent progress in the Maldives' economic development follows the government's decision under President Dr. Mohamed Muiz to amend the 2014 Special Economic Zone Act, a move intended to revitalize the nation's strategy and attract foreign investment after years of stagnation.
The original legislation, though ambitious, faltered amid political opposition from the Moldovan Democratic Party that stalled major proposals. President Muiz has now placed economic diversification at the center of his administration's agenda, advancing a framework designed to be more accessible to international investors and more resilient in the face of domestic challenges. Under the revised law, developers may establish sustainable townships if they commit a minimum investment of $500 million. These projects must integrate renewable energy, essential public services, and high-standard infrastructure, including international hospitals and hotels, ensuring the urban growth is comprehensive and sustainable. The government issued its first permit under the new guidelines last Thursday to Crystals Holding Private Limited for development in Nuno Atoll, scheduled for completion by the end of 2028. The township will include a wellness and medical facility, an international education center, and a dedicated agricultural island employing advanced farming technologies. Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammed Said described the initiative as a landmark achievement, calling it a realization of the administration's vision for a resilient economy. He highlighted that the project reflects the success of target policy reforms and international outreach and is expected to generate employment while expanding access to education and public services nationwide.
President Dr. Mohamed Muiz reaffirms his administration's commitment to revitalizing the Maldives fishing industry, emphasizing sustainable growth and direct engagement with fishermen. Addressing attendees at the Fishermen's Forum in Duva Farura Atoll, the president declared that the sector needs tangible development, with fishermen's input playing a central role in policy decisions. President Muiz stated that the government's manifesto prioritizes resolving long-standing challenges faced by fishermen, assuring that their concerns will shape the industry's future. Highlighting his administration's focus on accountability, the president stressed that projects will only be pursued if they are sustainable and actionable. Despite financial constraints, he assured that the government is working diligently to address challenges without neglecting the sector. To coincide with the president's visit, the winners of this year's Rahavaru Cook-Off tournament were celebrated, marking the culmination of an event dedicated to boosting the nation's fish products. Organized as part of the Fisherman's Day celebrations, the competition saw 36 participants from 12 teams vie for success over the tournament period. The highlight of the evening was the awarding of significant cash prizes to the victors, recognizing their skills by the First Lady Sajida Muhammad. In a significant push towards sustainability, Duvafarura Atoll witnesses the launch of a major solar energy project during President Dr. Mohamed Muizz's visit to the island, marking a cornerstone of the island's green transition. The initiative, inaugurated by Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar, aims to convert 33% of the island's electricity to renewable sources through household solar panels. Implemented by Male Water and Sewerage Company Limited or MWSC, the project promises reduced electricity bills for residents and lower diesel emissions. A dedicated solar energy portal was simultaneously launched to streamline panel installations. Alongside the energy project, the government unveiled multiple development ventures to coincide with the president's visit. The Maldives Airports Company Limited, or MACL, was awarded the contract to construct the Duvafaru Sports Complex, signed by the Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation Abdullah Rafiu and MACL MD Ibrahim Sharif Muhammad. This regional hub will host tournaments for sports like volleyball, netball and handball, aligning with a national plan to establish 6 such complexes nationwide. Further bolstering sports infrastructure, the Maldives Transport and Contracting Company, or MTCC, commenced work on an outdoor volleyball court. Inaugurated by Minister Rafiu, the facility aims to nurture community bonds and youth engagement in the sports-loving island. Healthcare upgrades also took center stage, with President Muizz inaugurating the new Duvafaru Health Center building. The facility now features an emergency room, X-ray services, dental care, and ultrasound scans. Additionally, the president witnessed the groundbreaking on a separate project for an extension building to transform the center into a full-fledged hospital within 6 months, adding an operating theater, intensive care unit, and specialized wards under a $1.7 million project. The visit also saw the launch of a waste management center being developed by MTCC, set to resolve the island's waste challenges within 120 days. Minister Omar spearheaded the groundbreaking, emphasizing the government's commitment to enhancing island infrastructure, environmental resilience, and public services across the Maldives. The president, before concluding the visit, witnessed the commencement of the land reclamation project in Duvafaru. The project, valued at $11.2 million with a 360-day time frame, MTCC will dredge around 15.8 hectares of land, construct 812 meters of revetment, and 450 meters of groins. The Maldives Fisheries and Ocean Resources Marketing and Promotion Corporation formalizes a strategic accord with China's Hainan International Economic and Trade Corporation Limited to expand the global reach of Maldivian fisheries products. The agreement, signed by Managing Director Dr. Mohamed Ibrahim and Hainan General Manager Patricia Wang Mai Hong, is intended to secure market access across several Chinese cities, positioning Maldivian exports more prominently in one of the world's largest consumer markets. Corporation Chairman Ahmed Sharif described the partnership with a local Chinese entity as a tactical measure to overcome linguistic barriers and streamline operations in a region where English proficiency can be limited. The Hainan delegation noted that the initiative reflects a broader effort to diversify bilateral relations beyond tourism, with a focus on developing Maldivian brands for Chinese consumers. Domestically, the corporation has concluded a parallel agreement with the Diggaru Marketing Corporation to standardize and promote artisanal products. Signed by Dr. Ibrahim and Vice Chairperson Ismail Mahid, the initiative seeks to counter the spread of counterfeit goods, particularly those falsely labeled as Diggaru Rihakuru, a traditional concentrated fish paste. Diggaru Council President Ahmad Nishan underscored the importance of establishing a verified brand identity to mitigate economic losses caused by unauthorized imitation products. Officials said the project is intended to serve as a model for future collaborations with other island councils, strengthening market access for local producers. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz pledges to revitalize the fishing industry as the Maldives' vital economic lifeline, underscoring its inseparable connection to the nation's identity and announcing immediate measures to support fishermen.
Speaking at the 45th Fishermen's Day ceremony held in Dua Farura Atoll, President Dr. Mohammad Muiz announced that the Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company MIFCO will revise its procurement standards to offer premium prices for fish weighing 1 kilogram or more, lowering the previous threshold. He also confirmed a reduction in diesel prices for fishing vessels aimed at easing operational costs across the sector. The President said the government is moving swiftly to expand fisheries infrastructure. Loan facilities for refrigerated seawater RSW systems have been extended to an additional 200 recipients, while construction of new fish processing factories are scheduled to commence across the country. He added that the installation of fuel skids in designated locations is progressing, with completion targeted by the end of March. Looking ahead, President Muiz revealed that new mechanisms are being introduced for the purchase of big eye tuna, with operations expected to begin shortly at a developing facility in Hulumale. Concluding his address, he outlined a vision for a fully nationalized workforce in the fisheries sector, urging Maldivians to regard the industry's development as a shared national responsibility. He also pledged national recognition for vessel owners who employ exclusively Maldivian crews.
The Maldives Police Service launches a comprehensive digital transformation under President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's Maldives 2.0 initiative aimed at modernizing one of the country's oldest and largest public institutions. The program reflects growing recognition of the need for law enforcement to adapt to technological change in order to enhance efficiency and strengthen public safety. The transition marks a shift from manual processes to automated systems designed to expedite service delivery and improve operational capacity. Police officials have described the initiative as a fundamental reorientation of policing, equipping the service to meet the demands of an increasingly fast-paced, technology-driven society. Several digital platforms have been introduced as part of the reform. A cyber portal has been established to raise public awareness of online crimes and scam prevention, while the Police Enterprise Management System or PEMS portal enhances communication and coordination across departments. Additional systems monitor infrastructure projects and manage vehicle fleet logistics, including fuel expenditure and real-time tracking. Public engagement has also been expanded through an upgraded mobile application, enabling citizens to report crimes, submit evidence, and communicate directly with investigating officers. The application further integrates administrative services, allowing users to apply for prison visits, appoint legal counsel, and track lost property or towed vehicles without visiting a police station. Officials say consolidating these services within a unified digital framework promotes transparency, accountability, and institutional integrity. Through this transformation, the Maldives Police Service aims to align modern law enforcement with the evolving needs of the public. Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of the 14th National People's Congress or NPC of the People's Republic of China, Wang Dongming, pays a courtesy call on President Dr. Mohammad Muiz at the President's office.
During the meeting, President Dr. Muiz expressed his sincere appreciation to Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China, for China's continued support and cooperation, which he said have contributed significantly to the Maldives' economic and social development. He reaffirmed the government's commitment to further strengthening bilateral relations across multiple sectors, grounded in mutual trust and long-standing friendship. The president also highlighted China's assistance in key development initiatives, including major infrastructure projects. Discussions focused on enhancing Maldives-China relations, identifying new avenues for cooperation, and strengthening existing partnerships. Priority areas included housing infrastructure, fisheries and agriculture, tourism, connectivity, information technology, and trade. Both sides also noted the memoranda of understanding and agreements signed during President Muiz's visits to China, expressing satisfaction with the steady progress of ongoing projects. Vice Chairman Wang Dongming acknowledged the close and friendly relations between the two countries, noting that the ties have further been strengthened by President Moi's visit to China. He said the purpose of the delegation's visit was to deepen cooperation for the mutual benefit of both nations and their people. He reaffirmed China's commitment to implementing the comprehensive strategic partnership and expressed support for the Maldives' development priorities. The meeting concluded with both sides reiterating their commitment to further strengthening Maldives-China relations to achieve tangible outcomes for both countries. Vice Chairman Wang was accompanied by a senior delegation from the nation's People Congress of China.
The Minister of Health, Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim, expresses growing concern over the increasing prevalence of mental illnesses, particularly among the youth and working age population, alongside a sharp rise in non-communicable diseases or NCDs.
Speaking at the closing ceremony of the first Universal Health Coverage (UHC) forum held in the Maldives, the minister emphasized the urgent need for inclusive quality healthcare to address these challenges. Mr. Nazim highlighted that while the Maldives had made significant strides in maternal and child health and the eradication of certain communicable diseases, NCDs now account for 84% of deaths in the country. He stressed the continued reliance on external sources for treating such conditions, underscoring the necessity of strengthening local healthcare infrastructure. Additionally, he warned that climate change is exacerbating health risks impacting food security, mental health, and overall well-being. To combat these issues, the government is drafting a 2026 to 2030 roadmap for achieving UHC, prioritizing primary healthcare expansion and specialized services such as cancer screening and the National Mental Health Helpline. Under President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's leadership, efforts are also underway to expand ambulance services and enhance urban and tertiary healthcare facilities. The forum underscored UHC as a critical component of the UN Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs), aiming to ensure equitable, accessible healthcare for all Maldivians. The proposed strategies align with global best practices while addressing local challenges, including healthcare digitization.
The Maldives establishes a Tsunami Ready Board to oversee the implementation of the Tsunami Ready Recognition Program, an initiative led by UNESCO's Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission.
The board will operate as a subcommittee under the National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) and comprises representatives from key state institutions, including Ministry of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance and Planning, Maldives Police Service, Maldives National Defense Force and the Maldivian Red Crescent. NDMA will chair the board, while the city's ministry will serve as vice chair. The seven-member body is tasked with ensuring that communities meet internationally recognized disaster preparedness standards. To obtain certification, localities must demonstrate operational disaster management plans, maintain trained emergency response personnel, and ensure the availability of clear public guidance for crisis situations. The board will be responsible for verifying compliance and facilitating the certification process for eligible islands. While the UNESCO framework primarily focuses on tsunami preparedness, the Maldives has broadened its scope to include a wider range of environmental hazards. Kuludufushi City has been selected as the pilot site, with accreditation efforts currently underway. The initiative aligns with President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's vision of building a resilient nation by 2030 and represents a significant step towards achieving international recognition for the Maldives' disaster preparedness capabilities. The NDMA has announced plans to extend tsunami-ready certification to all inhabited islands within the next decade.
The Ministry of Economic Development and Trade orders the closure of 37 businesses as part of an intensified nationwide crackdown on illegal expatriate-run enterprises, reaffirming the government's commitment to tackling unauthorized commercial activity.
The enforcement campaign is being carried out by the National Task Force on Combating Illegal Expatriate Operations and Businesses, comprising officials from the Economic and Homeland Security Efforts, the Maldives Police Service and immigration authorities. According to the ministry, enforcement activity has increased significantly in recent weeks. Between late November and mid-December, authorities received 252 public reports and conducted inspections at 98 business establishments. The majority of closures resulted from violations of economic regulations, while a smaller number involved breaches of other applicable laws. 8 businesses were later allowed to resume operations after rectifying identified non-compliance. The ministry said the campaign targets 2 main forms of malpractice, which are the use of Maldivian citizens as proxy owners to bypass legal ownership restrictions and expatriates operating businesses within 34 sectors reserved exclusively for Maldivian nationals. Investigative agencies are working closely with ministry officials to identify concealed business arrangements that contravene the Foreign Investment Act. Officials also emphasized the importance of public cooperation, urging citizens to report suspected illegal activities through dedicated hotlines, the ministry's website or the Immigration Watch platform. The ministry acknowledged the crucial role played by the public in helping authorities identify unlawful operations and enforce compliance across the country.
The Maldives Customs Service, or MCS, is set to revolutionize import procedures by introducing a new system, allowing private individuals to submit their own customs declarations online.
Commissioner General of Customs Fatima Diana announced the initiative during a press conference, highlighting it as a key step toward modernizing customs operations under the government's Maldives 2.0 digital transformation agenda. Currently, private individuals face delays due to the lack of a dedicated declaration process for personal duty-paying goods. To address this, MCS will launch a 2-phase digital service via the National Single Window Platform, Tradian, starting 1st January 2026. The first phase will initially serve tourists, with full access for private individuals expected by the first quarter of 2026. The Tradian portal, officially launched on 20th April this year, has already streamlined import and export services by centralizing procedures online. These reforms, including 24/7 air cargo clearance, aim to ease trade, reduce processing times, and enhance transparency in the nation's customs operations. Diana added further details on the self-declaration service will be released by MCS in the coming months.
And that's all the news we have here on 168 Hours. We will see you next week.